you are, Cat Clyde. How are you?
Hello, good. How are you?
Cat, I have to tell you, I feel like I have spent the entire week with you because I listen to Ivory Castanets on repeat, Hunter Strands on a plane. I paint, so I put Down Rounder exclusively when I paint it. So, I mean, I'm full of Cat Clyde. I am Cat Clyde herself, basically, this week.
Amazing.
Oh my God. But it's great to have you. Looking forward. Very excited to have you on the show, Cat.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And listen, I know how hard you work, to become an artist and become good at your craft and the great artist that you've become, Cat. But once you've become Cat Clyde, like the name is synonymous, people know you, the music world is taking notice. Is it like, oh my God, I want to seize the moment? Because I see right now you're in the UK in the middle of a big tour. You're playing major festivals last year with our friend Sierra Farrell, but it's like, this is the moment. This is when you have to do it, right? Like, are there times when you just want to crawl into a space and, and tell your team, Peter, Anna, Strummer, whoever, I just need 6 months off?
Yeah, I feel like that all the time. Yeah, I think I feel like that a lot, but yeah, gotta keep going, gotta keep rolling. Um, yeah, seize the moment for sure. I feel like there's a lot of movement and I gotta grab on and go for the ride.
And go for
I'm
the
here for
ride,
the
yeah.
ride. I'm here to enjoy
Just
the ride.
just take coffee and go for the ride.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, Kat. By the way, where are you right now? Are you like in an apartment, in a hotel room? Where are you? It's a cool compound.
Yeah, I'm in an apartment. My Strummer's sister lives here, so we're staying with her
Love it.
while I'm in the UK. Yeah, while I'm in
Love it.
London.
Love it, Kat. By the way, Kat, when COVID happened and all the madness that was 2020, around
Mhm.
COVID, when you were following up Hunter Strays, and it had to have been a soul testing moment, Kat. And the reason why I say that is because you're following up this great album, this great reception, everyone's loving it. Your career is kind of on fire, and that's the time to create the next big albums. And then you put the money into this project. You go into a cabin, and then you discover you have a mold issue, right? Like,
Yeah.
is this what happened? Like, did it drive you insane? How much of a test was this for you?
Oh, it was such a huge test. It did definitely drive me insane. It was really overwhelming. It was really difficult. It was really difficult, but um, I think I learned a lot from the experience and um yeah, it was just hard to have to like tear everything down and dismantle everything and kind of feel like lost and not really sure how to finish the record and
Yeah,
not really knowing how it's going to get done or how I'm going to find the strength to figure out a new plan, so um but it all fell into place pretty spookily, like kind of life does that,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
kind of nice.
Where do you get that resilience from, Kat? I know that your grandfather was a great musician, your uncle passed you the music gene, but like, where do you get this resilience from? Like this way of turning adversity into light that you have shown you do. Is it from your parents? Like, where does this come from?
um Yeah, I think I feel like I had to endure a lot in life, so I feel like enduring is kind of it's not that new of a thing for me.
Hmm,
So I mean,
sure.
yeah, I feel like life can feel like something you're enduring a lot sometimes. Yeah.
So it's almost like, great, a life curveball. Bring it on, baby. Kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah,
that,
I
yeah.
mean, it's always yeah. I mean, yeah, the dips and the bends only make the curve arounds more enjoyable, more
Yeah.
faster. Yeah.
I
So
love it. Well, you know what? And it comes through in your art, and we're all the better for it, Kat. But I'm so curious about putting together an album, Kat. And that's why I love that you recorded this new album in Sound City, the iconic studios here
yes.
in LA. And I thought it was particularly interesting that you've built this creative chemistry with Tony Berg, right? The legendary Tony Berg. And I was thinking, being a songwriter and a performer, it's such a daunting thing, Kat, because you go into a studio. There's a guy like Tony Berg, who's worked with Phoebe Bridgers, Air Supply, and a whole bunch of other people, and everyone is kind of like waiting for you to sing or to write a new song. And you're sitting there like, you can either be laughed out of a room because it's ridiculous, or you know what I mean? Like, what is it? What is that moment like, Kat? Like, when you walk into Sound City and you got to come up with something new and you start to freestyle, like, are there moments of insecurity that pop up?
I don't really feel like I had to really come up with anything new. I kind of had everything kind of ready to
Mm,
record, but it was very overwhelming and kind of scary going in. I've never really had a situation like that. I mean, it's a legendary studio. You walk in and he's got all these amazing players that I've never met before. So it was a lot, and there's just like beautiful gear all over the place, and yeah, I definitely had to like check in with myself a lot and be like, it's okay. I'm allowed to be here. It's okay.
like imposter
So
syndrome a little bit.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Isn't that
for
wild?
sure.
That imposter syndrome is like never goes away. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Don't say never.
I know, I know.
You know what I
It's like yeah, it's the same. It's like everyone here in Nashville is the
Yeah.
same. It's like, but you just won a Grammy, you know. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, epic, epic, epic cat. And I
Yeah,
was
it
watching
was.
an interview with Rick Rubin the other day. I wanted to ask you about this. He said, if I'm gonna give advice to any songwriter out there, you can only please yourself. Basically, he said
Mm,
that because when you try to go after an audience, even if you try to please an audience, you're never gonna be successful. Like you gotta do it for yourself, even if you gotta get like a day job. But that's like the only way to really succeed. Do you subscribe to that? Do you agree with that, Kat?
yeah, I totally agree with that. I really feel like that's what makes art good. I find like when people, try to be like someone else or you know, I mean, you can be inspired by what someone else does, but if you're not moving from a place of what you love and what moves you, I don't really feel like it can be as good as it can be. And I remember watching this documentary. I'm not sure what the guy's name was, but it was about this famous sushi chef. And there's a part in the documentary where he talks about um, how his palate has to be like what he eats every day has to
Yeah.
be very specific and very um he has to have a very refined palate, because if his palate isn't good, how can he show up for the people who are going to come and eat his food? So it's
Interesting.
like if he has to really make a point of enjoying what he eats and making sure everything he eats is inspiring to him. And I really love that too. And I feel like I resonate with that. Like, I feel I have to be really careful with music that I listen to. I can't just listen to
Mm.
anything. People are like, oh, listen to this. And it's like, no, I can't. I like to keep my palate. And it's very important to me to just always move towards things that move me and I really love and enjoy, because that's what's going to inspire me to bring
Yeah.
out what I love and what I think is good. And that's going to come out in what I make.
That's fascinating. By the way, I think I know the documentary. Is it about the Japanese chef?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Hiro Dreams of Sushi.
Yes,
Yes, it's
yes,
a classic. It's
yes,
a classic. Okay, but
yeah.
that is fascinating. That is fascinating for sure. So you're saying, if anybody in your team is like, hey, why don't you just like put top 40 for a second, listen to like, whatever whatever is the flavor of the month in Music Row, like just to see what's out there, you don't do it because like you're
No.
just you guard your palate. That is fascinating, Kat.
Yeah, yeah,
I love that. I love that.
yeah,
By the way, going into your background a little bit, and I love your story, Kat. You taught yourself at 14, right, to play guitar.
yeah,
I
yeah. I
love it.
started to, yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
And this is great because most people when they discover the blues they're older. Like I know when I discovered the blues, I was not that long ago because it's such heavy themes. But you, Cat Clyde, you're here at 15 years old. In Canada, little teenage cat, and you're listening to Karen Dalton, Blind Willie McTell, like Etta
Mhm.
James, Lead Belly, like this is like beautiful but heavy music, and I'm just curious, what is it about like the blues that like resonated with you? When most people are thinking about ridiculous stuff like going to the mall and hooking up or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think like, you know, uh I didn't it wasn't like very happy times in my childhood, and I feel like when I heard the blues, it was like feeling like I was like finding a friend that could understand how I felt
Mm,
for the first time, and it felt like I wasn't alone, and I felt all these emotions, but it was mostly like just this like deep connection and this feeling like um I'm not alone in my sadness, and sadness is actually very beautiful, and there's so much depth and so much truth and so much wisdom that comes from pain and sadness, and it really creates beautiful, beautiful things, and you can create beautiful things from it.
Amazing. Kat, I gotta tell you, as great as you are as a songwriter, a musician, I feel like this message of, resiliency and grit and, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you kind of thing. It's like one of your greatest assets and like one of your greatest gifts as an artist to the world. So thank you, because you're leaving us inspired here today as well.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I mean that wholeheartedly, Kat. And I know you got a busy day ahead and you may play a song for us, but Kat, I gotta ask you about old school, Kat. I mean, let's take it way back. I want to ask you about, growing up in Ontario, specifically maybe
Mhm,
10, 12 years ago when you were coming up with your creative identity, Kat. Like,
mhm.
found this great bootleg live at Sarah's bootleg from the Caitlin Block Heel era, basically. I just kind of wanted to ask you, like, how do you remember these days, early 20s, late teens, when you were kind of coming into your own musically, uh, to who you eventually became?
Um, that's, yeah, I guess, yeah, I don't know. I think I was just like very angry and very sad and like very confused and overwhelmed, and yeah, just kind of learning about myself and not really knowing myself very well, but feeling a lot all the time and not really understanding how to manage that and cope with that. And um yeah, just kind of wanting to escape a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, my teen years were kind of dark, but that's
But you know
okay.
what's but you know what's amazing about this bootleg, and if people really want to look for it, they can really like look for it. But and it's out there. But it's like,
That's
even
funny that
though,
you found that.
oh yeah, it's the internet, but
Yeah.
even if obviously your songwriting and your vocal is not as refined as it is today, you can see that openness in your heart from there. That hasn't changed.
Mm.
That's unchanged.
Hmm.
That was beautiful to see.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've just learned how to um protect myself more and just like navigate the world feeling a lot. And back then I didn't know how to do that, but I still felt a lot. So,
Amazing.
yeah.
Cat Clyde, you have left us inspired today. We want to go like break a wall basically after this.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, Cat. So we'd be honored if you want to take us away with a song. That would be
Yeah,
amazing.
sure. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. What are you doing the rest of the day in London, Cat? Do you have a show tonight?
I don't. I'm actually just like gonna chill because I don't have too many like chill days. So I think I'm
Amazing.
just gonna
Yeah.
like
Go
hang
walk
out
around,
and
get into some trouble in the streets of London. That's fun.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, okay, cool. Um, were you wanting to hear like a new song off the record or any song?
Well, we always say whatever you are feeling in your heart. But yeah, I mean, I think, because the new record's coming out kind of later next week from when we're taping this, that'll be appropriate if you want, but whatever you want.
Okay, cool. I'll do Not Going Back. I'm not going back. No, I'm not going back. Even if it slows me down, I'm not coming back around. I'm not going down. No, I'm not gonna bend back down. I've been there before. I don't live there no more. If I could find you there, reaching I won't turn around. No, I won't turn back around. I'm not lost and I'm not found. Just a rock on the ground. And if I could find you there, reaching out with your faded ember stare, I'd climb in and hold you tender, dear. But I'm not going there.
Amazing, Cat. Amazing. My chills have chills.
Oh,
The day
thank you
is
so
downhill
much.
from here, Kat. Thank you so much. What a wonderful way for us to start the day here in Nashville. And thank you so much for your time and best of luck the rest of the tour in the UK. And we hope to cross paths this year.
Thank you so much. It was so lovely speaking with you. Thank you so much for having me.
Same, Kat. Take care.
Awesome. Bye.